Hello, my name is Rachel Miller. In recent memory, you have heard me speak about my microfarm. A microfarm, as classified by the USDA, is a farm operating on less than 4 acres of land. I'm currently living on less than 2. There's a large buzz around microfarms. The end of thousands of people hobby farming and farming for a living has ended, and the world has been left with a shortage of food. Most of the mass-producing places are turning to money-making farming, which is not revolved around produce, but around ethanol-producing products, like switchgrass. Microfarms are a revolution that is taking hold because of the skyrocketing prices in grocery stores and turning that money into local revenue and fresher, healthier food. Regardless of organic, non-organic, or natural feeding techniques, the end game is food. After a little background in the basis of microfarming, I would like to point you to the current largest part of my microfarm, chickens. My husband Jason and I are raising Dominique chickens, which are a heritage breed. Heritage breeds of birds have very specific guidelines in order to gain that recognition. They must meet the American Poultry Association standard breed, which means its bloodline can be traced back to prior to the mid-20th century. Do not click. Come here. Calm down. They must mate naturally, which means they can reproduce. Some chickens, like the black sex-linked chickens, can't reproduce. They do lay eggs, but they're not fertilized. Some heritage breeds must have a long and productive outdoor lifespan. Hens not eaten as fryers, which are 16-week-old hens, should last for 5 to 7 years. They must also have a slow to moderate growth rate. They cannot reach the appropriate market weight before 16 weeks of age, so that they build a strong structure and healthy organs before muscle mass. These are some pretty rigorous guidelines for a chicken that you're going to eat in 5 years or less, but they're the best. Within the heritage breed of chickens, there's a major threat of extinction because they're slow growing and so highly classified that many people overlook them or think they're too complicated and want something to eat sooner. The Dominique chicken are very high on the watch list, almost on the threatened category. We are one of 250-ish farms in America to have a strictly Dominique chicken farm. I'm rather proud of that. Now, after all of the seriousness of giant chicken breeds, this will be fun. I have younger chicks that are 7 weeks old. This is our rooster. His name is Toretto. Dominic Toretto. Fast and Furious fans, you should appreciate that. Our baby chicks currently have, they're 7 weeks old, and they're currently struggling with an illness called coccidius, which my uncle calls cockadoodle-doos. This is an upper respiratory and intestinal infection that makes them sneeze and have bloody diarrhea. It's very common in fall and winter chicks, and it's also very treatable. Baby chicks have to be kept at 100 degrees Fahrenheit for 4 weeks, and then decreasing by 5 degrees after that until the current temperature of the outside. Now, it's pretty cold right now, so it's hard to keep them at the right temperature so they don't get sick. But this eliminates a natural process of them being able to fight off this infection, which is done so by just being on the ground in their new home. So this is a hen at 7 weeks. This is our rooster. You can tell the size difference already. He'll be pretty big, and he'll be a lot wider than the hens will be. Okay, so we have 4 baby hens, our rooster, and then we have 5 more hens that are 20 weeks old. Oh, an important note about our chicks. The treatment for coccidius is 2 different treatments. One is a sulfa drug, which is an antibiotic, and the other is the organic way, which is a thiamine blocker that blocks the pathway of the bacteria through the body, and so it dies. And so we are doing that because we're an organic farm. And they're responding very well to treatments right now, which is good. So see, they're pretty lively. This is Loner Chick. She stays away from all of the other chickens, and so she sleeps by herself instead of in the brood of other chickens. Now, our 20-week-year-old chickens are much larger. They're staying in a coop outside, and they have been for a while. One of them is currently, hey! That was dramatic. Chickens on the loose! Hold on. I've got to chase the chickens. Get on here. Okay. Here we go. Alright. We still have the hen loose. Thankfully, we're in the garage and not outside. These hens, as I stated before, they're only 20 weeks old, and so they're still pretty small. This is the width of her breastplate, and she's our biggest hen right now. The other hen I have in here has about half the breastplate size that this one does. So the thing about having a more settled in bone structure is definitely true before they gain any like meaty muscleness. However, their wings are very effective at flying. Their tail feathers are pretty nifty, and they're really interesting. They have pecking order is a real thing. They have hens that are higher up on the pecking order, and they do peck the other ones. They do like shiny things, so we have a mirror out in the hen yard where they spend a lot of their time just looking at themselves. They're very vain creatures. They all have a different personality. This is Broody Hen, so she likes the little chicks a lot better than the other ones do. Woo! Chicken on the computer. And she likes to roost a lot. Other hens, they really like cabbage, so we have cabbage swinging from the top of the coop, and they peck it like a piñata. And they really enjoy kefir, which is milk that's gone bad. So I hope you've learned some about chickens. I know that they are one of my favorite barnyard creatures, and I hope you had a little bit of fun learning about my friends.